Hey guys, my name is Priscilla Elias and today I'll tell you why I stopped investing on Instagram. For the ones of you who have been around here for a while and who also follow me on Instagram, you probably noticed I haven't been putting much work into it lately, and seriously, I'm not sure if I'll get back doing that. I will tell you why. But first, before I started doing photography professionally, I worked as a musician. I first had a band called Mixtape.
Before I'm a dancing star, chaos needs to be the biggest part of me until I shine up bright.
And then I had a solo project called Pris Elias. I had Instagram accounts for both of those projects, and both of these accounts grew pretty well organically. It is like it usually is. In the beginning, it is always way much easier to get any social media account to grow. It was no different with me. My solo project had over 50,000 followers, and at that time I didn't even know what I was doing. I wasn't after Instagram's algorithm, and in fact, at that time I didn't even know what that was. So yeah, things just happened naturally. Then in 2018, I started really taking my photography seriously, and I believe it was in the beginning of 2019 when I really started posting a bit more to my photography Instagram account. I thought if I posted some good and consistent content there, things would just happen and I would reach a lot of people organically, just like it happens up until today on YouTube, for example. So I did that. I wouldn't say that I was very consistent in 2019, as I was really focused on getting local clients instead of getting engagement for my online content, but I did post consistently from the time I started my YouTube channel in March of 2020 until a couple of months ago. If you post consistently on Instagram, and if you do that following a certain standard and feed consistency, you know it is quite some work. It takes time planning it, it takes time taking good photos, keeping consistent, creating texts, planning your posting time, and so on. I'd say it's almost as much work as posting consistently on YouTube, especially if you also feed your reels and stories, which is something important nowadays if you want to grow on Instagram. It's like having 3 different types of work in one unique platform. Did post consistently for a little over a year help me grow on the platform? I'd say very little. In 2020, I still grew some before Reels took over and it became the main thing for the algorithm. Ever since then, not really. So all of that for what? Okay, Instagram now allows content creators to get monetized, and that is a good thing, but still the payoff is very low when compared to YouTube, for example. Plus, if you want to grow on the platform, you need to think of Reels, feed, and stories. My main thing with Instagram was to post beautiful photos, up until Reels became the most important thing, so posting photos didn't help me any in growing there. If I wanted to keep growing organically on the platform, I need to post much more reels than I actually do, and at that time it was quite some work. I'm a new creator, I work all by myself, and the thing is, I want to focus on whatever it is that will help me grow as much as possible, creating some type of content I really enjoy. That is why I focused on YouTube and decided to stop investing on Instagram for a while. It doesn't please me much that they change their core every couple of months or years, and that their main one ends up not being as important for them. I understand that it's a business strategy, but I don't agree with it much. I want to get more active on the platform again at some point, but always focusing on YouTube so that people who get to know me through YouTube will eventually search me on Instagram and follow me on the platform also. That way I will be able to keep focusing on photography and on my feed, which is what caught me on Instagram from the beginning and which should be, in my humble opinion, its main thing up until today. And with that, by no means I mean that I believe the platform should not evolve and have new features and possibilities. As a matter of fact, I think that's pretty cool. But in my opinion, it is sad that it seems to be losing its core. Day after day, less and less people spend less and less time on Instagram feed, and instead they spend much more time watching reels and quick, easy and disposable content on stories. I'm not against those, but I really wish the feed would keep being its main thing, or at least it would be as important as those other two newer features. Since it is not, and since what I most love about the platform is something that nowadays is not as well appreciated and rewarded as its new features, I stopped investing on it, and I will keep eventually posting over there, but not hoping that those things will help me grow organically. You who are watching this video up until now are the ones who can and will help me grow on Instagram, and that might be the exact same case for you if you're the old school Instagram lover like me. So go over there and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and also please let me know if you're just as disappointed as I am with the changes it did over the past few years. Just know that at least at this point, if you're a bit resistant about it as I am, the main way to grow your account over there organically will be sending people over from different platforms such as YouTube or TikTok, for example. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, as maybe I will realize I'm just being too grumpy or maybe too soft about this. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing to my channel, guys. I will really appreciate if you do that. That is all for today. Have a nice day, evening, week, all of them together, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao!